There was an old country song, Remember When. I think it was by Alan Jackson, but I'm calling this Where Were You? Darrell Plogger was on the sideline when Andrew Rowsey decided to get hot and go wild, so to speak, when Brunswick knocked off Rockbridge in the state semifinals at Virginia Commonwealth University. But if it's not for Andrew Rowsey, Rockbridge is probably blown out because Rowsey absolutely caught fire in the second half. Coach Plogger talks about Rockbridge going down early, what he saw out of Andrew, and we kind of discuss Andrew's career a little bit as a whole. Darrell Plogger on the Sports Buffet podcast. I was going through old interviews the other day, and I found something I want to say, gosh, you might have to help me out on the year. Press room at VCU after Brunswick, 2012, 2011?
2012. Yeah, I believe that was 2012.
If people did not know who Andrew Rowsey was before that game, they sure as heck knew afterwards. Talk about your emotions going into the game first off.
Just to touch on that real quick, that's when I became an absolute believer too. And now I knew he was good. I always wondered with his size at what level he could play. And that game proved to me he could play anywhere. He was unbelievable.
What's the biggest floor that you probably played on when you were playing?
The biggest floor, the size of the floor?
Well, I mean, the depth perception mainly.
We played Martinsville in the regional playoff down at Bassett. And that's probably as big a gym as we played in. The depth perception was definitely different. I take that back. I'll take that back. We played some games in Cameron Hall. We played a couple games in Cameron Hall at VMI.
So when you're playing?
That's when I was playing. Yes, sir.
How much did the depth perception throw you off?
Huge. If you're not used to it, when you get those walls that are way back from the basket, it is a huge difference.
I think depth perception, especially I think a lot of people can look very average at the state tournament at VCU just because there's a lot of room back there. And Andrew Rowsey did not look average that day.
No, anything but average.
Yeah, anything but average.
We did go to every time when we were playing in the gym like that, I would get into VMI in practice. I think that probably helped us a little bit. A couple times through the season, if we couldn't find a gym, I had some connections down there. We could get in and practice at VMI, and I think that really helped us.
Did you have 3 people last name Stitt that you were going up against?
Oh, no, not in that gym. No, sir. And they were very, very good.
So take me through the day. First off, I mean, what are your feelings before the game? Nervousness? I mean, when you get nervous, do you just get nervous or do you get nauseous or what are we looking at?
Honestly, before that game, I've told a couple people I was as calm as I'm not a nervous guy. I really don't. I feel like we were always prepared, and if we were prepared and in shape, and I always thought we were, then I didn't really get nervous. And I don't think our players that game early may have been a little bit nervous. I don't know if you remember, we got down 21-4 right after shoot, and our game plan was to pack it in, make them shoot. And I think they had 5 different kids that hit threes in the first quarter. So our game plan kind of went out the window after that. But as far as nerves go, I think the pressure was probably off once we got there. It might sound strange, but we expected to win it all. We didn't go down there to come in second place or third place or anything like that. We really thought that we had a really good chance, and I think we kind of, we represented ourselves pretty well.
Do you remember who you beat to get to that point? I forget.
We beat Waynesboro in the regional final.
And they're pretty good too. Talk about kind of that win.
We had actually changed. We were in the Valley with them, so we were very familiar and actually played them twice that year in the regular season. They had a very good kid named Alex Graves in the middle. They had a couple really good guards, Shy Washington being one of them, and they had athletes, and we knew that wasn't going to be easy. In the game to get there, we beat Rustburg in overtime, and they had a kid named Marshall Wood.
Yep.
I think he had an offer from Michigan. Yep. And he was. I thought he was as good as advertised.
But there's no way that you could simulate length going to what we were coming up on.
No, and we didn't have. That's the one thing we didn't have. We had a center that was great for us. Jalen Brown, we called him Biggie, but he's about 6'3", and other than that, we were probably 5'10" and under. We just had a bunch of guys that were scrappy that that bought into what we did defensively. They were awesome, and defense gave us a chance to win.
Prior to that game, what's maybe one of the biggest times that you've seen somebody catch fire like that? Because I thought Rowsey caught fire.
Oh, no doubt. We had seen it a couple times. I'll tell you what was really funny was a couple things, and this was the senior year, so this was after that. But we played at Botetourt, and Botetourt had a kid named I believe it was Goad that ended up going to Rutgers.
Okay.
And they ended up winning the district, and they came out and they went straight man in the first half, and Andrew had 30. I think he had maybe 30. No, he had 27, I think, at halftime. And we go in at halftime, and we're up a couple, and I'm telling Travis Rogers, my assistant, we're talking about it, and I go, they can't play man the second half. They're going to have to go boxing one, triangle two, something. Well, they came out and stayed man. And he just kept backing up and backing up and backing up. And I think that was probably his best game. He ended up with 52, and we pulled him with like 6 minutes to go in the fourth.
Is there any one thing that you think motivated Andrew more than others?
I really don't know what motivated him, to be honest. All I know is it was probably the most motivated player I've ever been around. I mean, his workouts were ridiculous. The stuff that he would put himself through to be in shape. And I took our team. I knew after we had been to the Final Four his junior year, we lost just about everybody around him. And I knew he was going to have to take a lot of shots. So I took our guys down to VMI to put him through his workout. And he would run the stadium steps down there, and he would basically jog to the top or run to the top, jog down, run to the top, jog down, run to the top, jog down 3 times. Then he would go down and do 25, I think it was 25 sit-ups, 25 push-ups, and run a lap. And then he would come back and do the same thing, and he would do that three cycles. So I said one day, Andrew, we're going to take you guys down VMI. I wanted to see how much work you put in and why you're going to be able to take this amount of shots. And most of our guys could go. They jogged up. Ran to the top, jogged down, and got about halfway back up the second time and were just gassed.
Right.
And he's an Energizer bunny. The game he had 60, we played the Stewart's Draft. Mike Gale was coaching them, and we never pulled him. This was his senior year. We never pulled him out of the game playing that pace. And, again, he had 60 in that game, and we pulled him with about 6.5 minutes to go.
And Stewart's Draft, they like to go up and down, up and down.
That was the Grinnell style. They were shooting every 7 seconds, and the pace was unbelievable. And he never came out of the game.
You had Andrew in 8th grade, correct?
I did. Mm-hmm.
What'd you see in Andrew in 8th grade?
I can tell you the exact point when I knew where he was different. We actually went undefeated that year, but we were playing at Riverheads. Riverheads had a good JV team, and we were down about probably 8 or 10 with 3-4 minutes to go in the game. And you could just see he made up his mind that he was not going to let us lose the game. And he just took it over the last 3-4 minutes, came back, hit a shot to win it. And I told everybody from that point on, he's made different.
Now, we had talked a little bit about it. Does he have this in his genes to where he's got that phenomenal ability to kind of shoot and turn on and everything?
Yeah, his dad, it's funny, we were talking about, he's a good friend of mine, but his work ethic to this day, his dad's work ethic to this day is nonstop. He's got his own business, and he started out landscaping, but now he's gotten into different things, and he just works all the time. So I think Andrew got that from him, and Chris, his dad, could also shoot the eyes out of it. He was a great shooter.
And he's younger or older, I forget, than you?
He is 3 years younger than me. He was a freshman. We played high school baseball together, and he came up a little bit as a freshman in football, so we played football together too.
Did I take it when you work that hard like Mr. Rowsey has, there's a level of toughness that you just accumulate?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I couldn't say anything to him, and there were times where I got on him pretty good about things, and his instinct is not to lay down or quit. His instinct is to fight back. And I can tell you, Coach Carlero, a good friend of mine.
Yep.
We spoke a lot. Matter of fact, I tried to get him to come and take the Rockbridge job numerous times, but he asked me one time. He said, "How's Andrew the coach?" And I said, "I'm gonna be honest with you." I said, "It's tough at times." And he said, "Let me tell you something." He said, "The great ones will challenge you. They're not just going to accept what you tell them; they will challenge you." And he hit it on the nose.
In what ways do you feel like he challenged? Just, the work ethic or what?
Yeah, and it was his basketball smart. Sometimes I think we would say, "Hey, this is what we're going to do," and I could kind of see a look. Well, I'm give you an example in practice. Andrew did not like to play defense all the time, although he could be a great player, great defensive player. And at one point in that Final Four run, he guarded a kid from Abington and kind of took him out of the game when we needed it.
And I think one thing we should say too is when you hear the term a player challenged a coach. We're not talking like fist fight or
Oh
anything
no,
like
no, no,
that.
no. Just you can see the look on his face. Sometimes he's like, "Why are we doing this?"
I think in today's day and age, you have more kids that are challenging, but not good challenging. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah. No, I'd agree with that 100%.
Right.
They know everything about everything by the time they're a ninth grader.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So back to Mr.
Yeah,
Rousey
back
or
to
Andrew here.
practice. So I thought we were playing soft, and this was the Final Four year. We had a game or two where I thought we were slacking on defense, wasn't playing hard, doing the nuts and bolts, dirty work, all that good stuff. So we got loose, and I said, "All right, guys, come on down here, get in line. We're working on charges today." And Andrew kind of comes back to him, "Why are we doing this? We don't, I said, "Andrew, just get in line. You just like everybody else." So we back and forth a little bit, and he turns around, goes to gets in line, and when he hit his time to take a charge, I had a defensive tackle was about 6'3", 250, and he took off full tilt. And I kind of felt bad for Andrew taking it, but he stood in there and took it. And when he got up, he came at me a little bit and said a couple things. I said, "Well, Andrew, guess what? Congratulations, you're going again." And he got back in line and took another one. He didn't like it at all, but he knew as a leader he had to get in there and take it. If he wants to take those shots, that he takes, which as he put it, when he left Asheville, we were talking in the gym one day, and I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Coach," he goes, "That shot that's a good shot for me, but it's a pretty bad shot for everybody else." And I started laughing. I said, "Yeah, I know exactly what shot you're talking about. Probably that 35-footer coming down on the break." And he started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, that one." But for us, we needed it. We had to have points. By the time we got to the state, it's funny how players come in cycles, because we had really lost 5 players out of that group that were, I think if I had those 5, we could have probably still won the region. And we have just lost all of them for different reasons, which really hurt us.
Somebody is not playing as good as they should be. Why is it Coach Plogger's job to fix that and not Andrew's? Or is it Andrew's?
No, it's me. I think it's all on me. It's funny you asked that question, because we had a kid that year named Joseph Jones that had started probably 12, 15 games, went through a struggle. I had a young sophomore, really athletic, that we started a few games and got to Joseph. And there was a game, I think, where he didn't even play late in the season. And he never pounded. He came to practice and worked hard every day. The kid that was starting his place ended up a crazy thing. Dad came, picked him up from school one day and left. He goes back in the starting lineup, and you'd have never known he hit that out. Great attitude, worked hard. Ended up being the Ivy League, going to the Ivy League. I think he went to Yale. Never made anything less than an A+. And just great attitude, great family. That was a dream. That was a dream.
I think I had that same symptom, except I never made anything above an A+. So
yeah, me and you both.
So
me and you both.
Was Andrew vocal? Was there ever times where he did get on somebody and you had to, I don't want to say back him off, but like, "Hey, it's my gig, not yours"?
I don't ever remember him doing that. I
Okay.
think I don't know whether it was that was just his nature, or if he knew I would take care of it. But yeah, I don't ever remember him really getting on anybody.
So you've never coached and these are my words, not yours, a star of the level of Andrew Rowsey until Andrew Rowsey, correct?
Correct. Correct.
And you talked to people like Mike Cardellaro. Now, was it
Hmm.
an extensive call list that you talked to people, or was it just kind of, we'll talk to Cardellaro and kind of be done with it?
Yeah. Talked to him probably more than anybody.
Right.
Coach Edwards up at Spotswood High School is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
We would talk about different things. But yeah, probably those two more than anybody.
Did you look for people you were comfortable talking to that were kind of in your same boat? Or, I think of people like you can't get much bigger than JJ Reddick in the
Right.
Virginia level. I mean,
Right.
do you kind of want to reach out, or, hey, I'm comfortable with Cardellaro, I'm comfortable with Edwards, I'm going to
Yeah.
leave and not make new friends per se?
Yeah. I was comfortable with those guys. Just got to know them through the years. And yeah, if I was going to talk basketball or had a question about something, I would probably go to those two guys.
All right, so now we're at the game with Brunswick and Rockbridge. You fall down early, and then, good gosh almighty, did Andrew Rowsey catch fire or something happen?
Yeah, again, 21-4 in the first quarter, but we won the second quarter. I think we had cut it they were down 17. I think we maybe cut it to 12 or 13, but we won the quarter. That was our big halftime thing. Hey, if we can peck away, let's win this third quarter. Let's jump on them early. Let's hit a couple shots. And sure enough, I think we hit 2 threes right out the chute. Javon Kress, I think, hit one, and Andrew, I think, may have hit the other one. And we got back in it. And from then on, it was a heck of a basketball game. I mean, the intensity and the crowd was unbelievable, and the play I thought was really, really high level for a game with that type pressure on it. And yeah, and Andrew put on a show.
And, this is going to be very politically incorrect, but what I'm about to say, it's not like Andrew was shooting over a bunch of midgets. I mean,
Oh,
the stiff kids are, if you want to go
yes.
outside, I'll go outside and we can find some trees. The stiffs are
Mm-hmm.
trees.
No, absolutely. And, they went triangle and two and actually put the two on him for a big part of the second half. And that's what I said when I saw him doing what he did with basically two D1 level athletes. Well, BJ was one of them I think they were chasing him with.
Mm-hmm.
When he was hitting, I think he had 27 in the second half. And I told people after the game, if he can do that against that defense, he can do that on it. And you put one guy on him, you're not going to stop him. I don't care who the one guy is.
And if I go out and play pickup and everybody's lined up from that game, I'm picking the Stith brothers first.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't look. And I'm not saying that anything, but they are freaking giants. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talked about it. I don't know what you could have said. Did you just not say anything and let Andrew be Andrew?
Yeah, we just talked about we weren't out of the game. We knew we weren't out of the game. We went to a half-court trap in the second half, and I really felt like that kind of changed the pace of the game and got it going in our favor too. I wish I would have done it earlier. But no, we just kind of played the way we had played pretty much most of the year. He was our guy. Javon averaged probably 13, 14 a game. He did his thing in that game. I think he ended up with 11 or 12. Just a play here and a play there, which when you get two really good teams, that's usually the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I have been going to state games for a long time. I know you probably see more basketball than I have, even though we're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, probably never, ever, ever, ever an experience like that. I mean, I've heard of people being in the zone. Andrew Rowsey was in the zone, and in the press room before you got there, I remember Brian Stitz said so many glowing things about Andrew Rowsey. And when you get those compliments from a guy of Brian Stitz who played in
Mm-hmm.
college, played in the league, played in the league for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what more you could ask for.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for anything more from our guys. Again, Andrew, he was the biggest star on the brightest stage, and we had to have that to be in the game, and he gave us a chance to win. But yeah, I was, hated to see it all come to an end. That's when most people think you get really upset after the game because we lost. That's not it. We get upset because we don't get to do it again.
Not only you don't get to do it again, but you don't get to do like the little things like practice or
Oh yeah,
the whole
absolutely.
thing is gone because I remember coaching when I helped coach volleyball. It's not that we lost in the state final. It's
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to see the girls at practice. And when you're not in the building, that really stinks. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You just heard from Darrell Plogger reminisce about the time where he saw Andrew Rowsey. I like to say Andrew was in the zone, and that basket could have been as big as an ocean, but Andrew Rowsey could find the hole that day, and Brian Stith said the same thing. And you know what? I'll tell you a little secret. I was not a stud freshman at the University of Virginia. I did not play in the National Basketball Association for many years. Brian Stith might have a little bit more of credentials than me on a great basketball performance, and he even said it. Darrell Plogger gave you the story from his viewpoint. Where was he? He was on the sidelines. Where am I? I'm in a chair, and I'm doing this Sports Buffet podcast, and my name is Bob Alvis.